Hello and welcome to another anime lore and theory video. I'm Shalltear, your host, and today we are going to take a closer look at why Shalltear Bloodfallen is touted to be the strongest floor guardian, despite the very fact that Gargantua, the floor guardian of the 4th floor, has confirmedly the highest stat values among all of them. But before we are going to take a closer look at any of this, let me quickly thank my Patreons for supporting this channel, and say my thanks to all users of the YouTube thanks function for making one-time donations. And with that said, let's take a look at the topic at hand. Gargantua is the floor guardian of the 4th floor, lurking at the bottom of a deep lake in the middle of the floor, waiting for intruders, whom he can overwhelm with his enormous strength, and him bursting out of the lake would be an absolutely epic sight. And in terms of stat values, he is also confirmedly the strongest fighter, with the highest values in attack, defense, hit points, and so on and so forth among the floor guardians. And his appearance is extremely imposing. Gargantua, named after a French giant, is not only the largest floor guardian, but his nickname is Tactical Siege Golem. As a living siege weapon, he can throw massive boulders as large as houses at targets. And we are talking about 20-story high buildings, not just country cottages. And again, as the name itself suggests, he is a living siege weapon, and he has such powerful throwing abilities all of the time. This is no skill or spell, but just Gargantua's own raw strength. And as mentioned, throwing these huge boulders is just his ranged attack. You don't want to find out what he can do in melee combat. At least not when you're standing right in front of him. But watching Gargantua single-handedly defeat entire armies in melee combat would be absolutely epic to watch. However, the question arises, if Gargantua is so strong, and if he is the floor guardian with the highest stat values, why is Shalltear Bloodfallen, the floor guardian of the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd floor, considered to be the strongest floor guardian and not Gargantua? And the answer is surprisingly detailed and complex. Firstly, status values are not everything. Ein Solgon, similarly to Rudius Greyrad, has the largest mana reserve of all of the members of Ein Solgon, as in the guild that owns Nezarick. And Ein's mana bar is literally overmaxed, meaning that he has hit the maximum but the mana bar just keeps going. However, even in direct comparison, Eins is inferior in terms of magical prowess to someone like Tabula Smaragdina, another player from the guild. And this is something Eins had confirmed himself in the 3rd volume, when Pandora's actor had transformed himself into Tabula Smaragdina. Also, Ulbert Elaine Odell is clearly strong as a caster, which is not surprising since he mastered literally the strongest regular spell, that is aptly named Grand Catastrophe. And the same applies to Shalltear and Gargantua. Yes, Gargantua has higher status values, but Shalltear has additional skills, equipment, and is generally designed and optimized to be absolutely devastating in combat. She can use purifying javelins, which are essentially homing spears, charged with magic and which deal holy damage. Also, she is an apt spellcaster, and can among other things cast the strongest regular fire spell, Vermilion Nova, and other powerful spells as well. She also has a lance that replenishes her health pool whenever she deals damage. So fighting her is somewhat like fighting Melania from Elden Ring in this regard, which in and of itself should speak volumes about Shalltear's strength and skill. And to stay with this example, Shalltear's so to speak 2nd phase allows her to summon a clone or construct of herself, which has the same stat values and equipment, but cannot cast spells. Ein Harrier. So essentially Shalltear can use a magicless mimic tier to stay within our Elden Ring comparisons. Additionally, she has skills that let her reverse any damage, and she can deflect any damage with her impact shield skill, and finally she has an item that resurrects her upon her death. This combination, considering her abilities and equipment in combat, actually makes her better than Gargantua, who is clearly superior in terms of raw stats alone. Imagine the whole thing like the fight between Melania and General Radahn, except that Melania's skills would have granted her a narrow victory instead of just a draw. And you have a rough idea of how the fight between Gargantua and Shalltear might go down. And there's actually a second reason why Shalltear is considered stronger than Gargantua. Unlike General Radahn, whose brain became mushy after he contracted magical syphilis from his sister after she penetrated him, the tactical siege golem hasn't superior stats across the board. Its intelligence is either below average or practically non-existent. In any case, it is not maxed out, so Gargantua won't be able to cast spells like General Radahn was able to. And Gargantua might also be more like a weapon, a tool, something like a catapult or trebuchet, rather than a self-thinking living machine. In my opinion, Gargantua is more of a primitive machine, a tool that can be turned on and off, and can be given some instructions. But he's not someone like Shalltear, an automaton, but one who has their own independent intelligence, personality, tastes and friends, but rather someone with the intelligence level of one of those Roomba vacuum cleaners. He can recognize commands, execute different combat routines, recognize some hindrances and defeat other enemies that are just standing in his way, and he can of course defend himself when attacked, even if no one is besides him and telling him to defend himself. But as far as I understand, his intelligence is rather simple and primitive. He's like a tank without a crew, extremely well armored, with massive firepower and damage potential, but lacking any initiative or will of his very own. And even if he had, let's say, a normal intelligence and personality for comparison, and we don't always need to make Elden Ring references, we've seen in Konosuba with Aqua that high status values alone and numerous skills don't guarantee victory if the intelligence of the one who is using them is actually sub-brick. In other words, while Shalltear has many options in combat and strategies she can utilize to defeat her enemies, Gargantua would probably fight more like Aqua and would be easily deceived and defeated with a clever strategy by a similarly strong opponent. So to summarize the video once again, Gargantua may have the highest status values on paper, but Shalltear is min-maxed for fighting and battle. She has the best combination of status values, skills, spells, items, and combat strategies, making her the strongest floor guardian in direct combat. And again, Gargantua could be more of a living siege weapon without any initiative or intelligence, unlike Shalltear, which again would make the fight relatively easy, since only one side would be actually fighting. And with that said, now it's your turn. Please let me know your thoughts and ideas about any of this down in the comment section. And while you type, I say thank you very much for watching, and special thanks to Ada Daddy Ada, ASK, Bad Guy Ye, Bad Burrito 316, Beezer, Ben C, Brandon D, Chrissy, Crowley 0221, Sia, Crystal Prime, Dead Slime, Death is Mercy, Deathless Dragonlord, Demon Xenomorph 1987, Devin Downen, Ding Dong, Dragonlord Placido Saxophone, Duckwagon, Dunkler Krieger, Dystopia, Dystopia II, Enigmatic Unicorn, Feral Shivan, Guy with That Head, Hector Marino, Hoss, Huster, Jacob G, Jana B, Jason, J. Morris, Chromius, Kylar, Lee K. Long, Legendarius, Lelouch Britannia with a Mustache, Lexus Fox, Lord Nishikian Rai, Lord Touch Me, Love Razor, Merovec, Mr. Shoes, Mr. Tweaker, Michael R, Michael Y, Nope, oh hell no, Normal Toad, O'Kill, Overlord General Gasper, Paddy Pantum, Personage, Primus 11, Rhinomere, Cune Caracos P, Shergox's Daddy, Shadow Lightning Wolf, Shrine Keeper, Sir Axolotl, Super Tier Magic Batista Bomb, Supreme Cheese, Staris, Ted, Texas Deer, The Orc Warboss, Rak Edsmasher, T.E. Wang, Vash Hawkeye, Vegito 27, Venture Fanatic, Wilhelm, Xenokai, and Zonagon. Thanks guys. Anyway, have a nice day, and I hope to see you all again soon on my next video.